talk about the topic for today. So the approach, what is the right life approach? Now, when we talk about life approach as a student, I am sure you are thinking when you are in school. I am in school, I have teachers, I have projects, I have my classmates, maybe my girlfriend or my boyfriend, and what do I do with all this to make sure that I do it right? And in a way, it is correct, because life as a student, it's mainly something that is mainly performed in school. But at the same time, remembering my approach when I was a student, I was 6 years in America, in California. Before starting at center, I went to high school, 2 years. Then I did 1 full year for English language. You might remember, because I already told you this story, I prepared myself in another college to make sure that I could improve my techniques. So I went through a lot of few colleges before landing to Art Center and to do my full degree period of time over there, about 3 years and a half. So the life approach, in my opinion, it's not only what you do in school. To me, it starts already when you are at home, because it's already how you organize yourself, when you're gonna sleep, when you're gonna eat, what you're gonna eat, how you're gonna be when you go out to have fun, what time, which priorities you set up so that you can be concentrated on the right activities to reach the goals we were talking about last week. So it's a more global, I would say, life approach. Ciao Sibasish, thanks for being the first one to write down a comment. Thank you. So it's very important that you understand the moment you prepare your luggage and you quit your family house or apartment, and you say goodbye to your parents and to your sisters and brothers and your friends, you have to understand that when you are on that plane, on that train, or in that car that is taking you to the school area where you're gonna have your apartment that probably you're gonna share with other students, it's there that your life correct approach starts. And this comes down to the first keyword is responsibility. You cannot start your life as a student in this type of design schools, which are very competitive. You cannot start it as where you were in high school at home. It's not the same thing. It's completely different. In a way, it is like you have your own apartment and you are responsible for that apartment. You are responsible to buy grocery. You are responsible to cook for yourself. You are responsible to, how can I say, to be clean. You are responsible to go out and I don't know, fix maybe something that is broken in the house or in the apartment, like, I don't know, an electric switch that doesn't work, or the light bulb that it's burned, and you are not gonna stay. I mean, before maybe it was your father, somebody else that would go and do all this stuff. Now you have to do all this stuff, and you are responsible for paying the bills, electricity, maybe not telephone, because today you have your mobile phone like me, and for sure probably this is your family's paying that, but the bills, the rent of the apartment or the house, and then you are responsible of how you live in that house or apartment if you are sharing it with other people that, of course, you don't know. You get to know. And I did that. I did that 4 times. So, you have to understand that your life changes. It gets a real change. And the way you have to decide how to manage this new life, it's very, very important. Because the better you do it, the more in peace you're going to be, and the better you can be concentrated on the work that is your school, which is your job. Because you have to think like that. You are an employee in that school, you are not a student. And therefore, when you come back home, like me, for example, after work, my first thing is I have to go and buy some groceries because in my frigo there is something that is not there. And I don't say, okay, I don't care, I'll go, I order, I don't know, a McDonald's. Yeah, okay, I understand, you're young, you're gonna eat a lot of that shit, but you want to make sure that you also take care of yourself with the food, that you can cook some stuff that is healthy, that you don't kill your liver simply because you are a young student and your mother is not there to look upon you and check what you're doing. You have to show responsibility. And I can assure you that when you start cooking on your own and you start getting into that life, rhythm, real life rhythm, you will feel better because you feel like you are growing up. You're a little real man with responsibilities. You have to feed yourself. You go to buy groceries, you're gonna buy, of course, I don't know, just to say, but you're not gonna buy a lot of sweet stuff and that's it. And you are happy because that thing, it's good. You're gonna buy stuff that are really good and nutrients for you, for your health. So you have to be wise what you eat. Because if you get things that are not very good for your health, you risk that your performance will suffer because your brain, your body, it starts getting a little bit, how can I say, tired, because you push your body, to keep the energy when you're not giving the right energy. I tell you a little thing that really changed my life, a little story that is true, and it's about me. At the beginning of my experience when I was a student, of course I had a lot of homework. I had also a girlfriend. And I remember that my girlfriend and I, we were not, at the beginning, we were not eating together. We were 2 students. She was living in another apartment with other girls, and I was living in another apartment with other boys. So I was always going to Burger King, McDonald's, little thing, pizza stuff. I was eating a lot of that stuff, Coca-Cola, drinking lots of Coke and Fanta, Sprite. I like that stuff. I was alone. Nobody was watching me. My mother was not there. And finally, I did not have to eat what my mother used to cook that was very good, like some legumes. And there I said, okay, I'm not going to eat that stuff anymore. So after 4, 5, 6 months that I was, working like that and eating kind of fast, because that was fast food. Then I would sit, and go and sleep. In the morning I would go to school, and then I start gaining weight. And after gaining weight, I felt always very sleepy. And that was normal. I learned this after, because I was overcharging my body with carbohydrates. When I was not doing sport, I was just drawing. So my body was getting a lot of things that you need if you do a lot of sports to burn, but I was not burning them. So my liver was becoming a little bit tired. I was becoming like sleepy part of the day and like tired, And when you get tired, psychologically your brain is telling you rest yourself. So I would rather to go sometimes and watch the TV. So I was getting into a conduct, of my life that was not sane, was not good. And when the first time my girlfriend came and eat with me at home, I said, "Look, do we go out and get something, I don't know, at fast food?" And she said, "No, we're gonna cook." I said, "What?" Yeah, the manic. And cooking after class can be a challenge. Sometimes I've been eating way too much pasta. Yeah, don't eat too much pasta. Pasta is good. Huh? I cook it, but don't eat it too much. If you don't do a lot of sports, you don't need 150 grams of pasta. You can stop at 100 because you are young. 100 is an excellent portion. Today I eat 60, 70. It's enough, you know? But the most important thing is that you have to eat grain. You have to eat fiber because that's what I was not doing it. And that's what, thanks also to my girlfriend, I start learning. Because she explained to me, and she was very careful about the food. So with her, I learned that it's true. You have to eat some fruit. That maybe drink Coca-Cola every day is not very good. That when I eat pasta, I don't need to eat a lot simply because I'm Italian and I love pasta. That I don't eat pizza every day, unless I have to go and run at least 2 hours, And I don't like to do that because I never been somebody sporty, that goes to the gym and stuff like that. So I close this parenthesis about my story just to give you a real example that when you start living on your own, whether you are with people in the apartment, majority of cases as a student it's like that, or whether you are alone, you have to take care. And then you have to take care also another thing. You have to clean your room. Because you cannot come back after a full day at university with some homework still to do, and probably that will be done in your room, because instead that you have your big table with all your colors and your room is a mess. You cannot do that. So that type of good approach will give you a sort of a discipline. No, I don't want you to become soldiers, but that discipline helps you to be disciplined also on your homework, because we said at home you are responsible of this place in which you live. Okay, so don't destroy it, but preserve it. Okay, protect it, and try to have a good life in it. And then when you go out, because you go to university, you go to a job because that's your job. So that responsibility that you get here when you are at home, because you know that Sunday maybe you take an hour and you clean up your room. You know that your bathroom needs to be cleaned. You know that the kitchen needs to be cleaned. You know that it's the time we have to go and think about the bills to pay. If it's not automatic, you have to go to the post office. Like in Italy, for example, it's like that. You have to remember maybe there is a paper, a document you receive via mail, and you have to answer the document. All those little things, that is life. Because my everyday life is like that. Yeah, of course, today I have a lady that comes and helps me out to keep my house clean. Okay, I pay her, which means that I have to work to make sure that I can pay her, unless I would do it. You understand? It comes down to responsibility and life approach. That approach helps you in school. So when you are in school and you think that you are an employee of that school and that your teacher, it's your design manager or your design director, okay, and sometimes has some special guests, which are the sponsors that are sponsoring a project, well, you have to behave as an employee. So You have responsibilities. You don't want to get mad at your classmates because those are your colleagues. You don't get mad at colleagues. You want to make sure that you perform really well. So the engagement of working hard, the engagement of listening really well your teacher because he explains things, and those things help you to understand what you have to do. Sometimes also you decide that you want to do something different, that you want to try some alternatives. Okay. Then if you try alternatives, you have to realize that the time is always the same. So you have to organize yourself to make sure that you do correctly what is asked, and very well also your alternative, because you have to be credible. You cannot do the main project bad and then do really well your alternatives. It doesn't work, because the teacher will be mad. Will say, instead of listening what I have to do, what I'm asking you to do, what do? Something different. It doesn't work that way. At work, it doesn't work that way. First we do what is asked. And then it's true that sometimes we tell our directors, say, look, I think there is a better way to do this. Can I make a few proposals? And of course he's gonna say, yeah, of course, just go ahead, do it. So I talked to the designers, and together we prepare something a little bit different that in our opinion works better. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose, but it was very good to try. So that's good. And that initiative, if it's well played at work, so for you in school, it shows that you are somebody mature, that in your head you are grown up. And then there is another thing. You have to learn. I'm sure that you all guys try to do this. Sometimes you don't even think about it, but you have to think also about it. That the relationships between you and your roommates, so in the apartment or in the house, try to manage that in a positive way, so that you don't get any conflict. Or if there is a conflict, that you know how to calm down the pressure, the mad person reasoning, using your words, using a reasoning, which means learn how to relate to other people during difficult times. Because if you learn how to do that at work, at home, you will be able to do it at work. You will be able to have that type of patience that helps you to understand that a classmate that could become also a good friend, you don't have to get pissed that you don't talk to each other in the morning when you go get your coffee and stuff, because, I don't know, he didn't give you the $5 for the bread or for the beer that you bought, and he didn't divide the cost. There's always something, that you can organize, that you can do to treat those moments, that in a very small scale, because this is not a huge problem, but in a very small scale, if you learn how to solve those problems quickly and in a friendly way, this means that you have a good capacity, that when you're at work, if there is something wrong, instead of pushing the tension up, you come with the problem solving. And problem solving, we said it last week, it's one of our mantra as designers, because that's what we do. We do problem solving. We help to solve problems with design, with the creativity, with our application, with our responsibility. On Striker, maintaining positive energy along with responsibility and productivity is a must. Exactly. It is exactly this on Striker. Thank you very much. You wrote it really well. Better than my English. Thank you. Because it's this. The productivity comes when everything else is taken care. Everything else works pretty well. when we have a disaster at home, work will suffer. Our psychological state of mind will suffer because we are sad, we are mad, we don't feel like talking, we don't feel like having fun with other people, and this sadly pushes you to become lonely, because people around you, when you insist on being like that, they don't want to go out with you anymore because you are annoying, you're boring. Now, we cannot pretend all our life to be nice and happy and we're gonna take care of everything. Of course not. Because I get mad, things go bad, even if we try, and sometimes it's like that. But we should make the effort that those things are few times in a year, okay? But not every month. So, the good life approach. It is a little bit like this, those things I'm telling you. It starts really from how you want to be as a human being. That is different than how you want to be as a student or an employee. It becomes before. It starts before. What type of human being I want to be within the society, or the people that are surrounding me. In my house, because I'm a student, I'm living with people, okay? Outside, for example, those that tell you that in general, when you live with more than one person in the apartment, you would find always the guy, oh, come on, let's go out, I don't care, let's smoke. Do you want to, I shouldn't say that, but do you want to smoke this strange stuff? And you say, no, thank you, I don't do that stuff. Don't do that stuff. Because, believe me, that thing is extremely bad. Especially when you're young. Extremely bad. Remember, especially when you are out of your family, away from your family, you want to keep control of yourself and your body without finding yourself in a situation where other people have to take care of you and you cannot do it for yourself. Because you will not have your father will go and pick you up, or your mother or an older brother. So how can you have trust in people that you barely know? The best way is that you don't do shit. You just remain clean. Now, if you want to smoke my cigars, smoke the cigar. It's okay. You want to smoke a cigarette? Okay, all right, smoke a cigarette. You want to drink a couple of beers? It's fine. Don't exaggerate. There is also another thing bad about this, when we are not clean. Now, I never been into this stuff because I'm completely against. I have my ideas, my credo, and I never got drunk in my life, and I never smoked anything bad, only good cigars. But I know a few people that are not like me, let's say. But sometimes for them it's a bit difficult, certain type of things, to do things. Maybe they are also, how can I say, they are probably not very strong in their mental strength. And therefore it's easier, to, okay, yeah, just one, and, okay, that's the fourth beer, okay, maybe it's the last one, and then it's not the last one. It's also a problem of mental strength. And we talked about this 3 weeks ago in another live. The mental strength. It belongs to the game, of what type of human being you want to be, game. So what type of gamer you want to be. So mental strength, I know that it's not always easy, but I have to talk to you about that. Because that helps you a lot. You will see things, but you have to do and behave in a way that you can see, but you stay away. That's exactly what I tell my son when they went for the first time. They were 17 years old, so very young, for a full year to do a college in another country, United States and Ireland. Full year without me and the mother. And I can tell you that they came back grown up. And I think, I believe that everything went really the way it should have been. Now they completed their school, they're ready to go to university. They had excellent notes. And when they came back, because they had this life experience without parents, alone in an apartment, which is very similar to yours, those that are in foreign countries doing their studies. They came back, how can I say, organized, even if they were only 18 years old. So today they are grown up even more, because it's already 2 years of this type of life. Oh, thank you, Paul, Sujay, thank you. This is great. Thank you very much. This is a coffee. All right? Grazie. Thank you. So that type of experience show them really the good and the bad. And I always tell them, and I tell you the same. It's very simple. There is the good and the bad. You have to decide where you will stay. But remember, I'm not going to tell you where you have to go. But once you assume the responsibility of your choice, you assume that responsibility until the very end, which means with all the bad things that can come or the good things. You assume it. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Love from France, from Italy, because I'm Italian. Wait, I want to send you some really nice heart. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks. Okay, so at the end, when we talk the life approach, you understand why I use the word life, because life, it's everything. It's private, school, work, when you sleep. Definitely all that stuff affects mental state just as worse as the physical state. Yes, very, very helpful advice. We'll stay, yes. And the thing is, Yash, is that in my opinion, the most important thing is not that people might say, hey, stay away from that guy because he's not clean. No, the most important thing for me is the health, because that stuff goes into your brain and destroys cells. But the most important thing is that you lose control of yourself. Because when people exaggerate, I see lots of videos sometimes on internet of students from Perugia in Italy and other towns, but not just in Italy, in France, England, when on Fridays they exaggerate with alcohol, and not only with alcohol. But it's very bad to see all those people vomiting. Those people, they cannot stand, they cannot walk. That if they don't have 2, 3, 4 people, that they are not the best friends. They take and if somebody takes your documents, your money, you will never know who did that. And if somebody, takes advantage of this state of mind, which is very, very fragile, without the opportunity for you to react, what do you do? What can you do? You put yourself in that state. So partially there is also your fault. So the secret is we don't do this stuff. We are in control of ourselves, of our body. I decide for myself. I decide what I want to do. I can see things that I don't like, but I can see them and then go and see it somewhere else, where there is a way of having fun much healthier, much better. Also because, let's say it very honestly, it's in the simple things that we find really joy. simple things. When I was 17 years old, 16 years old, before I left Italy to go to America when I was 19 years old. But when I was 17 years old, I remember that sometimes I had a very good friend, and we would stay and talk downstairs in the street until 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I would go and sleep. We would just talk. We were alone, talking, not many people going around. That's especially during the summer. That was a simple thing to do. Sometimes there was a friend, a girl with us. Some of those girls that could stay late out because their parents were a little bit more open-minded. And we were just friends, not doing anything bad. It was so nice. So nice. And sometimes today, I'm 60, I think about that. And I remember that as something for which I'm very grateful. Simple things. Life can be fantastic if we nurture simple actions, simple things. Well done. Okay, so anybody had any other comments? Then, of course, this life approach is that it's the approach keyword. Okay, so approach that thing. Approach that thing correctly. When you go back to visit your parents after 6 months, after a year, you go back as a man, as a lady, if there are some girls watching. You're not a little kid that comes back to mommy. Of course, your parents will always say, "Hi, my little son came back." That's normal. They love you. And they will see you like that. But believe me, and I can tell you because I saw my son, when they come back and say, "What do you do today?" "No, at this time I do this, and then I have an hour I can rest, I want to watch a program on TV, and after I have to go out and do other stuff." That's nice. Somebody organized. Living his life as a grown-up person. And you're going to do the same. Yeah, only striker. But believe me, some of those advices that then, as you can see, at the end have all to do with responsibility. So that's the thing. Maturity, responsibility. Once you are mature, but once you are responsible, then you can do a lot of things that are very constructive. And because we are talking about want to become a car designer, which is very hard, very difficult, in very complicated university, responsibility is very important. Gabriel, I get so much being a drunk design student in university. Okay, Gabriel, I just hope that today it's not anymore like that. I don't want you to give the bad idea that I condemn, okay, very badly who is not doing the way I am describing. We, as I said at the beginning, we all in a free country, and we have the choice. The most important thing is that we understand what that choice can bring us to. Because I sometimes at work, I choose things that are risky politically. That maybe a manager gets mad at me in a meeting, and I know that. But I have to say what I want to say. And sometimes I have to be hard in the way I say it, to mark a point. But then it depends also the shoulders you have to sustain this, and then listen also the answer, the counter attack. That's good, Gabriel. I'm very happy for you. We always have time to recover, always, even at my age. So don't worry. Don't worry. Take it easy. There are people that 50 years old, They already, they already know what they want. Wow, 15 years old, you should go and play soccer in the street. And they talk to you about, I want to become this one day. And okay, that's great. There are other people at 15 years old, they are not at all into that. They are just little kids, which is normal. So, people, we are all different. And there are some people that get certain things before, sooner, and other people a little bit later. I have two sons. One sooner, the other one a little bit later. But both of them doing well. I mean, so far. So, that's not a big deal. The most important thing that we understand the notion of responsibility, the notion of that life approach. And then there is another thing I always say. You can be with the mass of people. The majority of the people. They all move all together. They all go like that. There is somebody over there, very far, with a trumpet, playing the trumpet and saying, "Follow me," and everybody follow. And then there are others, the other type of people that are less. They say, "Why should I follow you? I mean, what do you have to offer? Is it really interesting? Explain to me. Because I might not follow you. Follow myself. I follow my instinct. My nose." And I have a big nose. Okay? So, who you want to be? I mean, if you feel safe, with less responsibilities, less action, just to follow, okay, do it. I mean, if that makes you happy, fine. If that thing bothers you, annoys you, it doesn't help you to distinguish yourself from the crowd, then you gotta be on the other side. Take action. Take action. Keep control. All right? Okay, guys. I think I said it all. Tutto d'un fiato. Okay, anything. Ask me anything. Yeah, there is somebody at the beginning. Wait, sorry. I'm gonna go and check the sketching enough portfolio. Rajat, if you are there. Rajat, are you still there? Anyway, Rajat asked me and asked us if for an entry portfolio to be admitted in design school, it's enough to have only handmade sketches, like the ones I do, or it is important to have also digital. So this is my answer. Hey Rajat, you are there. Okay, so I'm answering to you now, right? Thank you for the wonderful session. Thanks. So, Rajat, you do not need digital. Digital is more complicated when we don't know how to sketch well on paper. So the secret is learn how to sketch really well on paper. The sketches you showed me in the email, they were not that bad, okay? You have to improve. But, sketch, markers, pencil, pen, the things I do, okay? Handmade, perspective, backgrounds, nice color, punchy work. Once you manage that really well, then you can take an iPad and try Procreate and have fun. And you will discover that to work on Procreate, it's boring, as well as working on Photoshop. Because when you work really well with your pen and your white paper, you will enjoy a lot more. Because it feels like you are really producing something with your hands. You're getting really dirty hands. You understand? Mr. Yash, pardon me if I asked this before, but do 3-year CAD design bachelor students in Italian schools said you have internship in the final year doing studies or internship after that? No, I know that the internship in those schools, it's in the middle, after 1 year and a half or 2 years. I don't know if they changed, but that's how it was when I was head of department at IED. And from what I know, that's what it is. So you know what you should do? You actually have to ask, send an email. But in general, internship, it's not after graduation, cannot be, because to make an internship and have an internship contract, which is a paid contract in car design studios, that's the law, you have to be a student with a student visa. So it has to be during student course. All right, Raja, that's good. Great. Any other question or any other coffee? If you want to offer me another coffee, why not? All right, so now what time is it? Okay, it's already an hour that we are together. I think. All right. So when someone applies to these companies, are they okay with the guy being other candidates ready to travel? Must be in the car. Only striker if you get the internship, because you send your portfolio for an internship and the company says, yes, only striker, we want you, they will pay it. They will pay your trip. They will pay your stay. So don't worry. You have to contact them, send to them, and once they say to you, we take you, then you have to ask. You have to say, what about traveling expenses? Can you take this? Can you pay this for me? In general, it's always done like that. In Renault, we pay for it. Nobody pays anything. We pay. I am hiring you as intern. I give you a contract. I pay for you. Rajat, I search on my channel admission portfolio for design schools or entry portfolio, because I explain everything there. There is also another video in which I make a graphic and I explain step by step how to prepare it and what you need to put in there. Okay? Yes, thanks very much for this session. Great time as I'm going to start college abroad soon. All right. This video should be edited to live talk because this is incredible. But guys, share this video. The only thing you can do really to help me, I mean, your likes are fundamental. Share this video. If you think that this video is really positive, constructive, share it with your parents, with your, I don't know, with your girlfriends, with your friends. This, I think that the thing I say can be useful to a lot of people, not just for us that are sick of only to become car designers. Okay, all right. Okay, great. So now I have to leave you. All right. Thank you very much for being with me. I've been very, very happy. Thanks for your company. Thank you for the coffee that I'm going to drink very soon. And I wish you a very good weekend. Grazie. Ciao.